Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. And we have got ourselves what should be a good one here today. It's a match I'm actually very excited for because I think it's going to be a close one. In the top left, we have got SharkBot, the number 2 Protoss bot on the ladder, kind of carrying the Protoss torch symbolically, I'll say. And taking on SharkBot, it's gonna be VeTerran revived, the Scrapper. And yeah, I'm excited to see how these two match up against each other. Whether we see any crazy cheeses or pushes early on. And then if we do see something like that, I think it will be SharkBot. Maybe trying to pull a bit of a fast one. It is quite a Protoss bot, being a little bit cheesy. I think it tried to start a pylon there for a second, you may have seen, but then it was interrupted by the fact that there's a building there. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, before we get too far into this one, make sure to go ahead and click that like button. If we can hit, let's say, what's the date today? It is October 9th. If we can hit 9 likes on this video, that would be great. Join the Discord if you want to join the community. Leave a comment as well saying more bots if you want to see more of these bot matches. That goes a long way to help us with the YouTube bot. SharkBot's probe does get locked into the main base, and it may be stabbed to death by an SCV, and it will unfortunately go down. And we've actually got a bit of a cool build here by VeTerran, going for a double Rax Reaper opening against Protoss. And this is, it's like this isn't the standard TVP build, but this is the kind of thing you can do as a Terran to catch a Protoss off guard on the ladder. And we'll see if SharkBot is going to be caught off guard or not. It is going for a 1-base Robo. No Nexus going up just yet. Looks like it has queued that. SharkBot is saving a lot of resources. Well, a lot of Chrono Boost anyway, so I'm curious to see what it's going to utilize that for. Because you generally want to Chrono Boost out probes if you're Protoss. Maybe the math is different if you're a Protoss bot, or just saving that Chrono is more important for something else. Anyway, we do now see one of those Reapers crossing the map for VeTerran. We'll see if it's going to get many worker kills. Probes are being pulled right into this Reaper. I imagine they'll take a shot or two and then retreat. However, now there's 2 Reapers, so it's double trouble. SharkBot should be Chrono boosting out that Stalker at this point. I do kind of question the Chrono Boost usage by SharkBot. VeTerran is starting to work away on some of these probes. However, these bots, they have micro. That's very easy for them to tell. Just, oh yeah, this worker is missing 2 HP or missing half its HP. Just pull it away. That's a fairly simple thing to program. We've got a probe even helping the Stalker out. I'll say that's quite important. The fact that it actually soaked a couple shots. Now the Stalker is in trouble though, as the Reapers are hot on its tail. SharkBot is trying to micro against these. It may get one, not quite. And then those injured Reapers are jumping out and back in for VeTerran. Looks like they go home, regain some HP, and go back in. The bot author's making good use of that regen mechanic. It does look like, though, that SharkBot did get up enough Stalkers to hold this off. VeTerran isn't quite pooling all its Reapers. These Reapers are now going to decide to go back on in, but it's 2 Reapers against 2 Hellions. Now there's 3 Reapers, but they still don't think they can take that fight. I'd like to see them try. I think if you microed this correctly as a Terran, you could probably kill off that injured Stalker. But of course, these are bots. They're just doing the most logical thing most of the time anyway. And that's what we're seeing here from VeTerran. Those Reapers, they can't take the Stalkers on. Behind this, the Terran bot is macroing up. It is getting up a command center now. A Raven on the way. A little bit of cinnamon spice and everything nice. Now SharkBot, I think, is getting ready to do one of its most signature plays, which is go for this Colossus drop to utilize that. And the Colossus and the Prism can be a pretty strong build. I don't actually know if it was patched yet. The kind of double damage it seems the Colossus does. Maybe I'm wrong, and if someone could actually let me know that in the comments down below, I'd appreciate that. We'll just have to see how easily this Colossus kills things. With that one-shotting of the Reapers, I think its damage is definitely still doubled. The botting community, of course, is is definitely balanced around this a little bit, I feel, as there's not that many Protoss bots, so this strategy isn't exactly game-breaking. Now, this Colossus, it is just shooting away, gonna get dropped on top of that siege tank. The tank gonna have a hard time doing much about that, so it has to unsiege. The Colossus is just being microed by SharkBot incredibly well, dodging shots, killing off these units. And yeah, SharkBot's micro is doing really well for it. This Colossus, it just kills those Marines in one swipe. Usually it takes a second swipe, and so yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just getting old and senile or something. Looks like this Cyclone gonna need a bit of repair. Now, that Viking, though, is gonna save the day and push that Prism away. The Colossus actually gets dropped on out, and we see a Raven hanging around. The Marines kind of are being pushed back over. They run right into that Colossus. Even a Medivac ain't gonna save them. The Viking elects to go back home, though. So it's kind of all a wash. VeTerran didn't get anything done with that push because the Colossus and the Prism was the perfect counter there. And then SharkBot is just doing fine, as it does have up that third Nexus. We take a look. It was saving all its Chrono Boost energy for better things. It got out that Colossus as quick as it could. And now it's got double Stargate on the way, so potentially mass air play here. We'll see how well VeTerran's going to contend with that or not. Triple batteries are being produced by SharkBot, so it's going to get up lots of static defense. Just that blanket static defense is pretty darn good when it comes to programming a bot. If you make a Protoss bot, make it build a cannon or a battery in the mineral line, and it might win you quite a few games. We do see VeTerran investing in those classic Terran turrets that we see a lot of the Terran bots do. 2 turrets in the mineral line really covers most of the air harassment, and so that's going to be important, potentially very important against these Phoenix. We'll see how well SharkBot is going to utilize those. And then VeTerran, yeah, it's still just powering up, behind on the economy because it did go for those double racks that didn't get too much done. Still, it's going to build up this army, and SharkBot behind this is doing just a-okay, it seems. Getting up another cannon, static defense, it's playing it nice and safe. This is how you got to play Turtle Toss if you're going to be a Turtle Toss. Make lots of defense and units. And just survive, basically, is the objective. Now, the Phoenix aren't harassing at all for SharkBot, which is interesting, but they are going to soak. They are going to potentially kill any Vikings, just the one out for VeTerran. And yeah, we are seeing Concussive Shell finish up for the Terran bot. Meanwhile, the command center, a third command center, is on location, so it's not falling too far behind in the economy. We'll have to see once this fleet beacon is done whether we see Tempest. SharkBot likes to make Tempest. We've all seen how good Deimos is with Tempest in the late game. It may be something we see in more of these AI games as the meta develops. And then we've got Stimpack on the way. More Tempest being produced here. Well, I shouldn't say more Tempest, I should say the first Tempest. We've got a 4th Nexus going up for SharkBot, VeTerran still on its 3rd base, and we'll have to see if these bots are just building towards a big push and are going to clash. I mean, VeTerran, we've seen it be a really interesting bot to take on supposed late game bots, because we've seen VeTerran win games just with like mass tanks on the ground because they tend to just kill all the bases and sort of avoid the air units. We'll see if that's going to be the case this game or not, as VeTerran does invest in those mass siege tanks. Personally, I'm hoping we see some Thors versus Tempest this match. That's what went through my mind when I clicked on this. Now, SharkBot is getting 1-1 on the way. VeTerran's still getting some upgrades out for itself. No 4th command center on the way for the Terran bot. Who knows, that may start up soon, though, and we actually do see that coming up now with a Robo on the way for SharkBot, as these 2 bots, they're just powering on up. They're building up. They're going Super Saiyan. And while this Super Saiyan is going on, ladies and gentlemen, consider checking out sc2ai.net on Patreon. They're the ones that they're the organization that creates all these bot games for us to watch. Basically, they have to run the servers that actually host all these games. Well, host the bots that play the games, and I guess the games too, since it is a custom Starcraft 2 ladder. My understanding is I guess they probably have have a PC that just emulates the games. I don't know if it plays them through at like 8 times speed or what, to play multiple a day, or if it's a bit more nuanced than that. That would be an interesting thing to learn, how these bot games are played. And you can actually, I believe it's a feature on the Patreon that you can actually request matches. So like if you really liked watching SharkBot and VeTerran play, you could request that if you support them. I'm not affiliated with them really officially, but seeing as how I cast a lot of games from their project, kind of is worth shouting them out. Now we have got SharkBot still just building up, going Super Saiyan, as we have got multiple Tempest out. This Protoss bot is getting close to max out, so I assumed it was going to be VeTerran being the first bot to attack here. Instead it may be SharkBot, which probably attacks when it hits 200 supply, although it may be waiting for it to actually have out that true 200 supply. In StarCraft 2, you don't necessarily have 200 supply worth of units when you're at 200 supply, because units in the production tab actually count towards it. So this mothership, which takes an eternity to build, will, until that's popped out, it's kind of just fake supply in a sense. We are seeing VeTerran produce battle cruisers, which I'd say is going to be good, but it's kind of the worst thing you can make against Tempest unless you have a critical mass. There's nothing worse against Tempest than 1 or 2 BCs. If you have like 10 BCs and you Yamato cannon, maybe, but I don't know if VeTerran's going to get to that point. Usually it tends to attack before it hits up any critical mass of units. We've yet to see Psystorm or High Temp. Well, we're seeing Psystorm on the way. We've yet to see any High Templar be made for SharkBot. That could be big, because feedbacks on the Ravens that can be done by bots are just instantaneous, so those could be nullified. SharkBot is also kind of setting up to do its classic just cannon battery push to the other side of the map as it starts to build out. I think it's a really cool way to design a bot to just be like, yep, just Sim City all the way out, make millions of cannons, cover the ground in cannons. And yeah, we'll see if SharkBot is gonna just keep building cannons or whether it's going to attack soon. VeTerran is building up in supply, so for now time is on VeTerran's side, because if it hits that 200 supply mark, it may be able to take a pretty good fight. If not, it may face some difficulty. And I'm honestly surprised. I feel like VeTerran usually is the bot that attacks prior to this, so maybe in the TVP matchup, it likes to actually build up a bit more and then go for an attack, and it's really just going hard into these BCs. VeTerran is a bot that seems to usually make like 1 or 2 BCs or 1 or 2 Thors. In this game, it is making a lot. It's getting Yamato cannon. Now VeTerran is getting ready for that move out. I'm not sure what prompted it to attack. It's going to fly over some cannons, though. Vikings, you got to turn and get on out of there. They're going to fly into the Tempest. Not knowing those Vikings were there before, or not knowing those cannons were there before pathing forward, we're now seeing tanks move forward. The tanks will clean out the cannons and batteries. The problem is going to be, though, dealing with these Tempests, is there going to be any Yamato cannon getting used by VeTerran? It is teleporting out the injured BCs, which is good, because they are getting injured very quickly. So far, 2 of them have survived. The Immortals on the ground are going to be very good at dealing with the tanks for SharkBot, and that's exactly what we see. A couple tanks and Marauders on the right side are pushing, as SharkBot does like to split up its attacks. But man, oh man, that main army did not do too well. Too many tanks, too many Marauders to deal with the Tempest. And then the Immortals on the ground just destroyed the tanks. So we'll see if VeTerran can hold on or not. It does have 1 BC flying around. Killing those prisms would be nice, so they can't just evacuate those other units. And the scan is going down to maybe try and kill that Observer. Instead, it's shooting a Tempest. So far, SharkBot isn't pushing too far. It's more of a passive bot when it comes to that. Usually, the BCs aren't being targeted down. We're actually seeing the first Yamato cannon get used. That's really cool to see. VeTerran, I feel, is a bot that kind of lacks on its Yamato juice. And so, I'm glad to see that being utilized. It does want to pull back that injured BC. It's on cooldown with its teleports, so we're seeing a bit of a battle cruiser versus Tempest game. And out of all the bots I thought that would have a match like this against SharkBot, I feel like VeTerran is a bot that doesn't usually go too hard into the BCs, so I'm loving this. Now, the blue Terran bot is going to move out. It is still being as aggressive as it's known for, moving across the map with less supply than its opponent, but going to start killing off some of these cannons, pushing in multiple locations. The Vikings are retreating from the Tempest, they're having a hard time. We did see VeTerran also be incredibly greedy with its expansions, taking the one in the top right. It also tried to take the one in the bottom left, but SharkBot did deny that. Both these bots do have behavior to segment off some units. The Yamato cannon, I think that was the Colossus going down. Interesting targeting. The BCs are scanning all over the place to reveal these invisible units. That BC does perish. I believe that's the first one to die, though. Correction, there has been 2 that died, but so far still have 2 Tempest. The Vikings are actually going to catch another one of these Tempests, so this is a real scrappy game. SharkBot sees the base in the top right. There's nothing to defend it for VeTerran. It may want to have made that a planetary. The VeTerran bot is just, it's so aggressive. It spends so much money when it plays that it's like, where's all your money going, VeTerran? It's actually not mining too much, so I guess it's losing mining time repairing these BCs. SCVs are in transit. Should definitely have more of an income than what it has right now. We're still seeing a push go forward right now. Batteries aren't much of a match for cannons and siege tanks in particular. Even with the battery overcharge, that's only going to buy so much time, so SharkBot will want to reposition this army. And that's the problem with the Death Ball. You're strong in one position, but in multiple locations, not too strong. We do see SharkBot going for its 3-stalker attack, though. This is something that it really does well with. It shut down that base in the bottom left, and now it's shutting down the one in the top right. So VeTerran's just abandoning ship on that. Meanwhile, the VeTerran is still poking towards the Protoss side of the map, as it's a bit of a base trade right now. SharkBot may need to pick up the pace if it's going to make this work. The VeTerran has got out a decent number of Vikings. I'm not sure it's enough, though, to deal with all these Void Rays and Tempest. The battlecruiser is very injured. Looks like it will go down. Yamato cannon going to get used. Hits one of those Tempests, softens it up. The BC, though, they're coming out of hiding. Prior to their teleport being off cooldown, they're being heroes when all they're going to do is die, and that's really going to knock VeTerran down in supply right now. SharkBot is pushing in hard. The Siege Tank is killing off some of the High Templar, some of the Sentries with some good shots. That was high-value pickoffs. Turret is actually shooting a Tempest that wandered too far forward, and VeTerran still has a decent Viking count, but it's going to have to be one heck of an engagement for it to come back with 40 supply against 100. SharkBot is going for the throat right now. And I think VeTerran's income has just been too low for some reason. I don't know why that is. It must have had some idle SCVs or improper mining. I think it might just be how many it's pulling off the line or transferring that's really hurt the economy of VeTerran, because like, it's had 70 SCVs. It shouldn't, like, I know VeTerran trades out a lot, but it should have been more maxed out than this. If SharkBot can afford 50 static defense buildings, I think VeTerran should have been able to max out, even with a worse resources loss count. So this VeTerran bot's in a bit of a hard spot, as we do see SharkBot securing the top right, securing the top left. That means no more bases exist for the VeTerran. And while SharkBot has eased off on its opponent, it's still in a rough spot. We have seen these 4 SCVs glitching out. They've been just bugged out there this entire game. VeTerran's income has gone back up now that it's just staying in its lane, mining off a few bases, so it will start to rebuild its army. It's still getting upgrades, so it's going to have really good upgrades. We'll see how much time SharkBot is going to give VeTerran. It's going to need a lot of time to come back here, though. It decides to make 4 tanks at a time against Tempest. Oh, VeTerran, the tank building bot. We're now even seeing a Thor, which I love to see, because those are really good against Tempest. However, VeTerran is doing its VeTerran thing, in which it decides to attack prior to being close to max out. Like, it seems to like to go at around 150 supply. And it's like, no, wait, you're fighting at a disadvantage. Just wait another minute, VeTerran. I'd be curious to see if that would be a thing that the bot author could try, to maybe just up that supply threshold before the attacks take place with VeTerran, and maybe it would win some more games, or these late games. It might also lose a lot more games, because it wouldn't be hitting those timing windows, so it's one of those double-edged swords. We are seeing SharkBot push on in once more. I'm curious to see if VeTerran can get an attack off towards the top right, maybe kill off a base or something, to prevent SharkBot from expanding too much. We do have tanks on the low ground. If they can kill those High Templar, that would be big. The bio is doing its job on the high ground for VeTerran. Instant split out of that time warp, showing us its micro. In comes all this Protoss army. It's pretty far on in, though. There is battle cruisers, there's Vikings, there is soon even a Thor that should be helping out against these Tempests, and that may be enough to push SharkBot back for now. The mothership goes down. This one BC will escape. It teleports like 2 feet, enough to get it out of danger though and to get it repaired. There's not that much of a Protoss force here right now. Well, not as much as there was. It's still a significant army, but it's a bit of a glass cannon at this point. The Thor is fighting Immortals. It's going to win, though, because it has tanks to back it up. SharkBot just retreats towards this static defense. VeTerran is going to start to run out of money soon, so while it takes a much better fight at that point, actually way, way better, with a whopping 24k resources lost to 2600, that's barely behind for the Terran bot, which is mighty impressive compared to how it was higher before. Tanks are pushing towards the north. We'll see if they can get anything done. VeTerran does need to reestablish this base, and it's doing that. Battlecruisers are coming forward. Vikings are in the sky. They're getting shots off, then pulling back. The Tempest are doing well against them, though. This BC needs to be careful and stay in its lane. The Thor is going to try and be a hero. He's going to need to be repaired, and it actually is being repaired, but not enough. It will go down. These battlecruisers are being healed up for now, but they're going to start to get picked off. Where are all those tanks? They were working wonders on the ground. I guess some of them have repositioned towards the top right as VeTerran is doing VeTerran things. I'm not sure why it's not going any further with this push. I'm curious to see if it will potentially threaten the bases of SharkBot. That's what VeTerran needs to do at this point. If these tanks can do the harassment that they so often do, I'm not sure why they're all just hanging out here, though. I do not know. Yeah, that's a little bit bizarre. They are catching some units. The tanks do unsiege eventually, so they get prompted to do that. VeTerran's making more Thors. It's got maybe another minute or two of proper mining. The tanks, though, are shredding through this static defense. We've seen 20 cannons, 14 batteries go down. That's not enough to pull SharkBot back for now, though. SharkBot is in attack mode. It's going for the throat. One battlecruiser isn't going to get the job done as SharkBot replaces a lot of its army. The Yamato cannon will actually kill off a Tempest, and the BC gets out. That's exactly the kind of efficiency you want to see. And now we're seeing a couple probes get shot by some tanks here. VeTerran's really trying to make an honest game out of this and hang on. We did see a lot of SCVs die at that base, though. That's a critical mining location going down. A couple stalkers harassing here is big as well. These tanks, it's curious. I do wonder what the delay is on them, for why they just kind of sit there for a bit. They definitely seem to have maybe like a 60-second timer before they move again or something like that. And now SharkBot's coming on in. It's got a good army still. We'll see if it's enough to break through or if it's going to lose some units and then decide to retreat. This one Thor sees High Templar and says those are easy picking. Unfortunately, they got an Immortal Guard, but there's more units for the Terran in this position. The Tempest are still problematic, though, but 2 Thors could be big to help defend against this. We do see them getting overwhelmed, though, and VeTerran is starting to crumple a little bit here. Despite killing static defense, it just didn't get quite enough harassment damage done. If it pushed a little bit more zealously, maybe it would have been able to break through SharkBot's base. But instead, we're now seeing SharkBot take VeTerran's base. What a close game this was, though. It definitely was SharkBot being dominant, but VeTerran put up more of a fight than I thought it would. I love to see how it did make lots of BCs. It was being pretty efficient with the Yamato cannons and stuff too. Let's take a look. 9 dead Tempest to 7 dead battlecruisers. That's not bad. So if VeTerran had got up that 1 extra base, and if it maybe had a bit higher of an attack threshold before it moves out, I'd be really curious to see how that plays out. SharkBot definitely does have this one at this point, though. There's no coming back from 50 supply to 200, even if VeTerran has got a couple bases here still. So ladies and gentlemen, if you watched up to this point in the cast, make sure to go ahead and click that like button. Leave a comment down below saying more bots if you want to see more of these bot games. Join the Discord, which is linked down below. And yeah, subscribe. If you've watched up to this point in the video and you're not a subscriber, you probably enjoyed it. And I put out daily casts on the channel. So that's a good place to check that out. If you do want to support these casts, you can become a YouTube member. It's pretty easy, just clicking that join button. It's kind of like Twitch, those of you that watch video games on there. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. As we just wait for VeTerran to get cleared on out. Tempest and Immortals doing their job. VeTerran definitely fought hard, and it's taken a while to get brought down in this one. SharkBot, go for the kill. You can win. Now what, says SharkBot. Well, I think it's about time you win. But better safe than sorry, I guess, when it comes to bots. Thanks for watching.